J'ai deux amours, mon pays et Paris. Par eux toujours, mon cœur est ravi.
Escucha esta canción que nace aquí en París con Josephine Baker. Welcome to Paris, welcome to Panam, welcome Dee Dee, aquí en París. Negro, latino, gitano, americano. This is the song from Panam. Tell me, Dee Dee, tell me please. Dime ton histoire, comment tu kiffes Paris.
J'ai deux amours, mon pays et Paris. Par eux toujours, mon cœur est ravi. Ma savane est belle, mais à quoi bon le nier? Ce qui m'ensorcelle, c'est Paris, Paris tout entier. Le voir un jour, c'est mon rêve joli. J'ai deux amours, mon pays et Paris.
J'ai deux amours, mon pays et Paris. J'ai deux amours, toi Dee Dee et Paris.
Ma savane est belle, mais à quoi bon le nier? Ce qui m'ensorcelle, c'est Paris, Paris tout entier. Le voir un jour, c'est mon rêve joli. J'ai deux amours, mon pays et Paris. Mon pays et Paris. Mon pays et Paris. Mon pays et Paris.
Well, Claude, it started in the mid-90s. After I had been here for a few years and I'd had success with Lady Day, and then I'd done the duet with Ray Charles, Precious Thing. I started thinking about how could I pay back the French for all these wonderful things that were happening for me. And so I said, oh, maybe if I did an album in French. And I remember at the time Jean-Philippe Allard was still running Verve, and Danielle was working with Jean-Philippe, Danielle Richard. And we talked about it during a meeting or lunch or something, this idea to do an album in French. And Danielle says, I will put together some songs for you. And he did this enormous research and found not only when the songs were first recorded in French, but he selected a lot of songs that had been recorded in English. And so did a whole like kind of cataloging for me and found the sheet music. And then we went through all of these songs, and I picked the songs that I knew. And then I put everything in a drawer.
Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause.
I was offered Cabaret, to do the musical Cabaret. Then I was asked in February of this year, of 2004, to put together a concert celebrating French, les chansons françaises, because they were honoring the French culture for 2 months in Washington, D.C. at the Kennedy Center. So that was the first real opportunity I had to put it together. And I heard the sound that I wanted. I knew I didn't want piano. I knew I didn't want drums. And I had to have the accordion, because the accordion, for me, is the instrument that I think of when I think of les chansons françaises. So I wanted accordion, guitar, bass, and percussions. And I wanted Louis Vinsberg, because I absolutely adore Louis for the guitars. Ira is now my brother, and I just love the way he plays. And Menino Garay, I wanted on percussions, because I don't know, I think Menino is so tasty, but at the same time he's so free, and I thought Richard Galliano for accordion, but he wasn't free. And in fact, it was Jean-Marie, my husband, who said, oh, there's this accordion player named Marc Berthumieux I'd never heard of. So we contacted him, and it turns out he's good friends with Louis Vinsberg, and they work a lot together. And so there was my group. So, I mean, I really put it together for this Valentine's Day concert for the Kennedy Center, and really didn't think I would go further. And it was actually the response of the public for the 2 concerts we did that made me say, maybe there's something to do. Because we did these songs that are known in English, but we did them in French, and the public, the Americans, went bananas. We were stunned. I made at least 10 million mistakes. I mean, I was all over the place. But they loved it. They absolutely loved it. They loved it. I even had people follow me for the concerts that I had after those concerts, so they could hear these songs again. They followed me to other cities, to other states. They got on planes. They drove for hours.
Dance along the wall, dance on the floor, dance on down the hall. We're gonna dance all night. We're gonna dance and do it right. Come on, people, join along. Help me sing this song. Don't say no more. Oh yeah. Hey, yeah. Don't say it. Hey, yeah, yeah. Oh, hey.
I think that the public was as surprised as I was that some of the songs were actually French. I mean, some were obvious. I mean, J'ai Deux Amours, La Vie en Rose, and you don't even need to sing those in English because they're just known in their original form. But songs like Que reste-t-il, songs like Et maintenant, comme d'habitude que j'ai finally, Lord, I'm going into French. Finally, I decided not to do that. But these are songs that I was so I was sure that they were English. I was sure. So, and I think that the public was too. So I could hear when I would start a song in French, and they go, there would be that, the sounds of astonishment that, oh my goodness, these are really French songs. I'm like, and so there was that. There's this kind of romanticism that is always associated with doing anything in French. I mean, if you speak in French, it's like, oh la la. Even now, yes, and that's as far as we need to go. But yes, even now.
La mélodie, ça développe. Ouais, non, mais attends, je comprends, tu vois. Au bout d'un moment.
Là, tu m'aides, toi.
Ouais, mais tu vois, moi, j'ai l'habitude d'un vrai batteur de jazz, quoi, tu vois. Shabada.
Oh là là, regarde ça. Oh là là. Il me l'a sorti. Il vient de dire au Shabada. Il me l'a sorti.
J'ai deux amours. Mon pays et Paris, toujours mon cœur est ravi.
For me, it's symbolic of Black Americans who've left the United States who have had success, and she, for me, is really like an emblem, for that, and that's why I had to put that on there. I don't think, all of these songs are not well known in the United States. There's songs in there that I really chose because of my personal relationship with France. So that's one. I met 4 of Josephine Baker's children, and I was an honorary president of the Josephine Baker Association, and I visited Milande. And they renamed La Grande Place in Sarlat, France, where Milande is close to, La Place Josephine Baker, and I was there for that. She was quite a visionary, I think, for that period when she was born, and she was quite a courageous woman,
Ce qui m'ensorcelle, c'est Paris, Paris tout entier. Le voir un jour, c'est mon rêve joli. J'ai deux amours, mon pays et Paris.
Josephine Baker for me is like, there's Jeanne d'Arc, there's Josephine Baker, c'est les deux extrémités. But for me, those are my women. Yeah, isn't that funny? For that time, what that woman did was really amazing. She put in the first gas stations in the 50s in this little region in the Dordogne area around the chateau. She had built huts, but styled after African huts because of the it keeps you warm in the winter and cool, and so that people that wanted to do hiking could have a place to sleep the night. No, this is a woman who's, that must have terrified those French people around her in the 50s. That's why they tried to take everything away. Coming in with these 12 kids of different races, she kind of opened the door for many people, for Sidney Bechet, for many people to come after her. So she is, for me, the icon. You know, she's our Black American icon. She was glamorous, too. She was romanced by all of these, you know, kings and presidents and princes and wealthy people and, you know, artists. I don't know, she was amazing. So for me, the album has to be called Deux Amours because, I mean, my career is nowhere near as illustrious as Josephine's, but, you know, there are some comparisons. And, you know, I think that the French have opened their arms to me in a similar way. You know, I think to do this project and not have Deux Amours would be a crime for me.
Ce soir, c'est une chanson d'automne dans la maison qui frissonne. Et je pense aux jours lointains. Que reste-t-il de nos amours? Que reste-t-il de ces beaux jours? Une photo, vieille photo de ma jeunesse. Que reste-t-il des billets doux, des mois d'avril, des rendez-vous, un souvenir qui me poursuit sans cesse. Pour ne faner, cheveux au vent, baiser pour les rêves mouvants. Que reste-t-il de tout cela? Dites-le-moi. Un petit village, un vieux clocher, un paysage si bien caché, et dans un nuage, le cher visage de mon passé. Les mots tendres comme murmures, les caresses les plus pures, les serments au fond des bois, les fleurs qu'on retrouve dans un livre, dont le parfum vous enivre, se sont envolés. Pourquoi?
Some of those songs sound for many people in America like American songs, like My Man,
Yes.
which is Bill Holiday's song.
Yes.
And it's a French song.
I know. I didn't know that. Like The Good Life.
Oh, you knew.
I did not know.
Oh.
No, I did not know when I got here. When I first got to France, I found out after being in France that it was Sasha that had written it. But like,
I Wish You Love.
yeah, I had no idea that was Caresse de Tigre.
Charles Trenet.
Yeah, I had no idea. You know, I didn't know that he wrote, you know, La Mer, Beyond the Sea. You know, George Benson's big hit. It's a French song. What Now My Love is a French song. Et maintenant. I was really, really surprised. And for me, I guess it just shows how influential this small country, France, has been internationally. It's quite amazing when you think about it. It really is. So and also I think with this project, Claude, I was trying to show that music is international and is the best ambassador we have, you know, to reunite people of different cultures and races and backgrounds. I think that was something I wanted to show with this album. I have surrendered to the fact that I feel more comfortable recording in France than I do in the States. I feel more comfortable, I don't know why, with European musicians.
Ne me quitte pas, il faut oublier, tout peut s'oublier, qui s'enfuit déjà. Oublier le temps des malentendus et le temps perdu, à savoir comment oublier ces heures qui tuaient parfois à coup de pourquoi. Le cœur de bonheur ne me quitte pas, ne me quitte pas, ne me quitte pas, ne me quitte pas. Moi je t'offrirai des perles de pluie venues de pays où il ne pleure pas. Je creuserai la terre jusqu'après ma mort pour couvrir ton corps d'or et de lumière. Je ferai un domaine où l'amour soit loi, où tu seras roi, où je serai reine. Ne me quitte pas, ne me quitte pas, ne me quitte pas, ne me quitte pas.
I'm at a point, I guess, in my life where I am accepting who I am and standing up for what I believe in a way that I want it to be really, really clear. So this project, for me, I guess, is another way of me saying, this is who I am. I did spend 20 years in France. You know, I'm married to a French man. You know, I started my life over in this country. I healed in this country. I was in a lot of pain when I came to France. I was at a very big personal crisis, you know, critical point in my life. I discovered there was a whole other world outside of the United States and Europe. I mean, Africa, I mean, Asia, it's just like the rest of the world I discovered here. And all of Europe I discovered here. And Eastern Europe I discovered here. I mean, there's an enormous amount that I learned from being in France. Besides learning another language, which in itself then opens me up for a whole other hemisphere of knowledge, you know? So I had to do it, and I had to get my feet wet. I had to get my feet wet. After all this time, it's time I got my feet wet. It's time I did it. That's how I feel. It was also time. I'm getting old.
Sur cette terre, ma seule joie, mon seul bonheur, c'est mon âme. J'ai donné tout ce que j'ai, tout mon cœur et mon amour à mon âme. Et même la nuit, quand je rêve, c'est de lui, de mon âme. Ce n'est pas qu'il est beau, qu'il est riche ni costaud, mais je l'aime. C'est toujours, il me fout des coups, il me rend des sous. Je suis à vous, mais malgré tout, que voulez-vous? Oh my man, I love him so. He'll never know all my life is just a spare. But I don't care me in his arms. The world is bright, all right. What's the difference if I say I'll go away when I know I'm coming back on my knees someday? For whatever my man is, I'm his forevermore.
What about singing in French?
It's horrible. Can I tell you? It's
Because many people say, oh, go on speaking. I love the sound of the language.
yes, and you know we love when French people speak English. We love it. It's so sexy. You know when you speak like this, and it's like
But
but.
to sing. It's another story.
It's really, really hard for me to sing. I don't know how it would be for somebody else. I can't speak for anybody else but me. But I can tell you the way that I phrase, and I have a way of like turning up notes sometimes at the end. I mean, it causes me to like add a kind of sound at the end of a word, like demander, for example. I was going demander because of the way I was phrasing the word when I was singing it.
The accent.
And yeah, my accents I don't put in the right place sometimes, and it's really important to do the liaison, the connection between some words in a phrase so that the French will understand. I can't cut. Oh, it's my head feels like yards and yards of spaghetti of French words. Maybe this project is another example of my ongoing desire to integrate myself into the French culture. Yeah, it's a different time. It's a whole different way of life. But I guess maybe somewhere in the back of my mind, I want to be another Josephine Baker for France. I want to die here. I want to be remembered here. This is something that really connects me to this country, this project. You know, at the same time that you still see the American side. I don't think that there's another American singer who could do this kind of project the way that I'm doing it. You know, and it's time that I stand up and be proud of this. This is something that not many people can do.
And I'm proud to stay American at the same time
Yeah.
with this small accent,
Yes.
which is so sexy for us.
You think so? I'm glad. I don't know. I'm glad. If it goes the other way, this is good. Sexy is good anyway, at any age.